Well, hello there. Welcome back to Retrotainment Recast. Hope everyone had a great Christmas and New Year's and all that jazz. I still have all the crap around me, which will be going down hopefully in the next day or two. But
Can't go down until the 5th. Cannot go down
it's
until the 5th.
it's going down. I didn't. It went up too early. It's going down right now. So enough of that. Welcome back to the show. And
Kind of like Ted's championship reign here.
oh,
Going down the toilet.
already here we go. Here we go. Let me just introduce our combatants as we always do. We have the challenger, the G-man, Greg Flanagan. How are you?
The goat, you mean?
Look, that's a matter of opinion. You know what I mean?
That's a matter of fact.
Ooh, I think Ted, you're gonna have to get some statistics up on the pages to show everybody.
The statistics will read that I'm the best.
No, he's had the longest run. But
And most wins.
yeah, well, that goes hand in hand with having the longest run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what though?
Wins.
He's not the champion at the moment.
No,
he's not the champion. Ted, you're the
I'm
champion. Yeah,
I'm the champ, and we're doing trading places today. And I'll tell you what, two people are trading places: the challenger and the judge, because the fucking champ is staying.
Oh, I like it. Them's fighting words.
We go.
So as always, we recast 7 positions. But so if you boys want to start your selections into the group chat there, as always, so just in case there's any kind of a mishap or whatever, you know, like a draw, that's what we do.
So,
yeah, we're in there. So yeah, I have a little list as well. So
yeah,
but it was a great film. I love this film so much.
I do like rewatching this at Christmas, to be fair.
Yeah, but just, I mean, the best part, of course, has to be Jamie Lee Curtis. Absolutely.
Is this? I might be wrong, but is this the only film where she gets her Babylons out?
I think so. Yeah.
No, I think
she gets down to her skivvies in True Lies. I know that.
No, I think she gets them out after this as well. Because, or no, maybe it is this. I'm trying to think in Scream.
She does get them out in this.
No, I'm trying to think
in Scream.
No, but in Scream, they talk about where he's like, when they're all sitting around watching.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Watching Halloween, and he's like, they're all like, when's she getting her tits out? And he's like, no, she doesn't get her tits out. Maybe it is this. Maybe this is this.
It is. It's legendary.
Fireplace, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah.
Well, anyways, enough of that kind of filth talk.
She sure was a looker in this one.
Oh, she was absolutely. So we're gonna, so I said we've 7 people to recast, and who goes first, champion or challenger?
Champion first always.
Okay, well, we'll go, like, of course we'll leave Winthorpe and Billy Ray till the end,
the 2 heroes.
Yeah, so
the second name's Winthorpe, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I call him. What's his name? Louis, isn't it? Louis Winthorpe.
Yeah. Louis Winthorpe,
the third or something like that. Yeah. He's brilliant in that film. He really is.
Dan Aykroyd, yeah.
Oh, it's probably one of my outside Ghostbusters. That's probably my favorite.
This was his second role, wasn't it? Was it behind Eggheads? Coneheads,
yeah. I'm not sure which. I thought Ghostbusters
was 84.
When is this?
These are probably recorded in and around the same time. Do you know what I mean? Though, like, there's only a year between the release, so there's probably like this probably hadn't made a big name for itself by the time he was in Ghostbusters.
This I don't think made a big name for itself off the back of cinema and whatnot. I think this became big
years later,
on TV and stuff.
Yeah, it was years later that it became a big thing. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Well, we'll start off with Clarence Beeks. He was the kind of the bad guy, wasn't he? The
middleman for the bad guys.
The hired help, so to speak.
The hired goon, yeah.
I love that.
That's a good way to describe it. The hired help.
Yeah. Well, considering who he was working for, you know. I love the way he goes. He's on the phone to the lads, and someone's like talking to him. He goes, "Fuck off." Just the way he says it.
Oh yeah, you're one. It looks like she's waiting to hear what he has to say on the phone.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's a private phone call. No, you're using a public payphone. She's clearly waiting to use it after you.
Fuck off. And then when he's walking through people, he's just bashing everyone.
Yeah, get out of the way, you.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Right. What an arsehole, like.
Yeah, he deserved.
I think I have a perfect pick for that. For this.
Right. Okay. Well, champion, you go first. Tell us who you have.
So I had 2 picks here, and I was kind of going back and forth on them. So I went with my backup of Matt Smith, who I actually think I would have used had our original judge been here. But since I know the King isn't a huge fan of Matt Smith, I would have used him for Sherlock, but I changed it up and went with Colin Farrell, who, yes, a huge name, but so was the guy who played Beaks in this at that time.
Look at him. Go on, Greg. Tell him what you got. I know what you got. Tell him.
I played the game and I went with Matt Smith and changed it after Sherlock wasn't coming to Colin Farrell.
Yeah. Both thought along the same line, so we would have drawn this one regardless.
Fuck off.
That's funny. I went with Michael Rappaport.
That's a good show.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
So,
Probably stepped more away from the acting world now.
Yeah,
but he's a good actor. I like Michael Rappaport. He was brilliant in Friends. He was brilliant in Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
See, I like Michael Rappaport. I just don't know if he has that, fuck off element to him. Like he seems a bit too nice. He seems a bit too nice to be that.
I can see him. I can see him.
Not remember him in Friends.
Yeah,
where he was the cop.
Yeah,
that goes out with Phoebe and he's like shooting pigeons and everything.
Yeah,
those pesky pigeons. They were people.
No, who would have been a good one? Ben Stiller.
Oh yeah, actually, like when he's the orderly in what is it? No, what is it?
Happy Gilmore. Yeah,
his name's Hal.
Yeah, I love that character. I love that. Just a small thing.
But even his character in Friends.
Yeah, no, he is.
When he snaps in the cinema.
Yeah. No, I think Matt Smith is probably the best choice for that.
I was playing the game going for that because I don't really know much of him.
See, I really like Matt Smith for roles like that. And I know Sherlock would have, but I know King doesn't like him. So I was like, well, I'll have to use the person who was my original backup in Colin Farrell and make him my main and make Matt Smith my backup.
I think out of the two of those, yeah, you're right. I would have picked Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
definitely. And I think Sherlock would have picked Matt Smith. Now, don't get me wrong. If I think Matt Smith's good for a role, I will pick him. But again, everyone's different.
I think it's just that you've seen less of Matt Smith than Sherlock has.
Yeah, it's probably
the issue. Yeah.
Anyway, so we start off as one apiece. Very nice.
I got one, lads.
I was happy with that one as well. So I don't like that I had to split that one with Greg.
Yeah. So moving on, we go with Coleman.
I think you have to,
yeah. Go on, right, Greggy. Here we go.
Right, I had a couple. Now I actually forgot to look up the ages of this, which might actually do me a bit. I think he was older in this, but I went into Marvel World. I went with Paul Bettany, who plays Vision.
Okay.
He played this role quite well. Well, he can play any role quite well. He's actually probably one of the better actors in the Marvel world.
Yeah.
He's a good, solid one. I kind of went back and forth on this one. Trying to think of someone who would fit into the role. I had a backup in Jason Bateman, but I don't know if he plays the.
Oh, what a shout that would have been!
Yeah, I liked him, but I got caught a little bit in age here because I wanted to age up a little bit more. Than Bateman. Bateman's 53.
I'd have actually conceded the point to Bateman.
That would have been a great show.
Yeah, Coleman was the guy who played Coleman was 61, so I wanted to just age up another little bit. So I went with Liam Cunningham, who I think could do it quite well as well. I'm kind of thinking of him in Game of Thrones, where he's kind of, kind of like where he's kind of the servant, but like also does his own thing as well.
Knows what's going on exactly. Yeah,
does his own thing as well. He's not like, I'll follow you completely blindly, but he's like, I'll do what you ask in general, but if I think that there's a way for me to get out, I'm going to go for it as well.
The only thing I would say is he's not really known for comedy, is he? As such,
no.
That's the only thing.
But this character isn't really comedy. This character doesn't do a whole lot of comedy because he's just kind of the butler until the end.
No, but there's little bits, little movements that he does with his face and all in that film that I couldn't imagine Cunningham wanting to do those, if you get me. Like he's like I love Liam Cunningham as an actor. I do love him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure he would do a really good job of it, because he's a fucking great actor.
The only real comedy movie, 2 comedy movies I can find on his would be War of the Buttons, which is quality, and The Guard.
Yeah.
Both Irish movies, both quality.
Oh yeah.
He has done some other ones, but they wouldn't be as well known, like Breakfast on Pluto and stuff, which wasn't like overly well known. But
I couldn't stand that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was good, but like it's not as if he's completely adverse to doing comedy. And as I said, this role isn't particularly comedy laden. It's very much just, oh, I see you've kicked your guests out, I'll do that for you. Like, there's not a whole lot of comedy to the role. Do you know what I mean? So I was going for kind of more the servitude thing than the comedy element, because I felt that was more important than being funny here.
Okay. Well, I have one of your picks as mine.
Well, I'm going to guess it's not Liam Cunningham, because you said you didn't really like him.
I had Paul Bettany as well. I think he'd be brilliant at that.
Fucking hell. I don't know how you thought of Paul Bettany for that role. Fucking hell, lads.
It's a good shout, isn't it?
I'm in the rewatch of the MCU.
No, but even as the rewatch of the MCU, he's not a servant in the MCU. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't. No, but
if you remember, he plays Jarvis. I know Jarvis is a robot, but I could see, with the look of him, I could see him playing a butler type person, and that was what that was the first. Actually, that was the first name I casted. Believe it or not. When I started recasting,
I really wish we had done this 10 years ago, because Michael Caine would have been going straight.
Oh yeah.
Michael Caine probably still would have been too old even 10 years ago.
But he would have been perfect, though.
He would have been very good, but probably a bit too old, because the character is still quite active. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Michael Caine was still active 10 years ago.
I know, but I know, but you wouldn't have. You would. I probably wouldn't have put him there. I don't know how you two thought of Paul Bettany there. I think he's a very, very good actor, so I think he could do the role, but I don't see him as a servant. Like,
well, I think he could do it better than Liam Cunningham, but maybe not better than Jason Bateman.
No, I'd have conceded the point to Bateman.
No, so Bateman is more comedy reliant. Like, Bateman does more in comedy than the servant role, which is what I wanted here. The kind of obedient servant, because you have to keep in mind that he knows about the trick that's been played on the two boys the whole time. Yeah, that's his level of servitude to the Dukes.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
that's what I was going with, like complete and utter servitude, until the very end when he realizes actually the boys have come out with a way where I can make millions and get out from underneath these lads. So that's what I was thinking.
All right, well, like that. Although, as the real goes, I picked the same as him, so we're 2-1
if the cast is.
No, I'm happy with. I was happy with. As I said, it was the first name I cast. So, if it had been a different one on this, maybe. But you never know what might happen further up the list, anyway. So, so you take a lead 2-1, Greg.
Jackpot.
Okay, so now the Duke brothers, right? Now, I have them not as a duo. But do both of your guys relate to each other, if you get me?
I don't really know. Like, they both, you could believe they were both related, I think.
Right. That's it. So I was going to say, I have 2 sets and they kind of relate to each other. So, we can do them as a pair or as separate. What do you think?
No, we'll have to go separate, because we've done that in the past where
and it bit me, it cost me the game.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because if we do these as a pair, then that sets a precedent that you have to do everything as a pair, and then you fall into the trap of, oh well, I recast this person.
Yeah. Okay.
This way, so then the father and the child both need to be this way, and that completely, if you pick one of their picks, then the other person loses the other point. Automatically off that, fair. So
it was the Jay and Silent Bob one that set that off. Where we were like, I cast him as a duo, you cast him as a duo, and we got 1-1.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. All right, then. So we'll start off with Randolph Duke, who's the older sibling.
The older of the two. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's back to you, Ted.
Yeah, I can't remember. Is Randolph the one that backs Billy, or is he the one that backs Louis? That's what I can't remember which one. Like, I have my pick there, but I can't remember which one backs. I think either of mine could back either one, really, to be honest. Anyway, I had two backups for Randolph, the older one. One was John Cleese.
Okay.
Who I think could have been quite solid.
Show.
But I don't know that he's still acting.
Mm.
I don't think he's officially retired, but I don't know that he's still doing anything. And he's kind of gotten himself in a bit of hot water in the last few years, so people might not want to go too near him. One I thought that could do it quite well, based on, and it's not because I rewatched the film, but because I was at the cinema and they showed an ad for Matilda, and I was like, do you know who could have done this well? Would have been the dad from the original Matilda, in Danny DeVito. I think he could do that role quite well.
He could.
But I settled on someone that I don't think we've used before, but we have recast him from something else before. And we were all full of praise for him. Elliot Gould. So,
good show.
You could see him being that rich snob asshole who's betting $1 on somebody's life.
He actually plays that in.
Yeah.
He's still alive, isn't he?
Elliot Gould, yeah.
He is, yeah. No, I just had to make sure that for myself.
He's still alive and he's still acting. He has some stuff coming up now recently, coming up soon. So,
and 84 years of age.
Yeah, I've aged him up a little bit, but Randolph was 79. So once you get to that age, it's a couple of years isn't going to make too much of a difference, sort of thing.
Hey, that's a good show, man.
Yeah, I do like Elliot Gould now. He's a good show.
Yeah,
I think he is the first time we've used him.
Yeah, we've recast him from a previous episode in Ocean's 11. Yeah,
I think we recast him twice, one after another, wasn't it? I think.
I can't remember.
Back episodes, but I definitely came off Ocean's 11 as well.
Yeah.
Right. These were the first two that I put down before I even rewatched.
I think that's what I did as well.
Elliot Gould wasn't even one that came to mind. I went with Patrick Stewart here.
Oh,
I like Patrick Stewart, but is Patrick Stewart a baddie?
You're going to imagine who the other brother is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine, remember when we picked this episode?
Yeah.
Sherlock turned around and says the first two names that he had were those two. Never told us who they were. But I would bet money that it's the two that I have.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, as I said, the two, like my two work hand in hand with each other. So so this is the older brother, okay? And I think I picked Robert De Niro as one of them, okay? Mm-hmm. So you can probably guess who the other one is. And for this one, I picked Ian McKellen. So you can guess who the other one is. I'm sure.
What?
So he had two separate...
two separate group duos.
Sorry, yeah.
So he had Ian McKellen for this role.
So I had Ian McKellen. Yeah.
That's so picking the balls then.
Yes, because now you know who I'm picking for Mortimer, don't you?
Yeah, I have an idea which way you've gone, yeah.
That doesn't help me at all because I've gone the other way.
Yeah. I know. Well, that's exactly what happened to me when we did what was it when I had won and I had used who switched?
Heath.
I had it switched as well. The same thing happened to me.
So, I'm probably gonna have to go with Elliot Gould because, as I said, I had. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I was really happy with that one when I came with Elliot. I was like, oh, he'll be solid in there.
When I liked that when I was casting these two, I was thinking like a duo. I was thinking, like the lads from the Muppet Show.
Yeah, I can see where you boys thought that. The reason I didn't is because I don't think that the original duo that played them were a hand-in-hand duo.
No, but their on-screen chemistry was yeah. Oh.
I know, yeah. But I'm just saying back then I don't think they were. Although I think the two of these were the biggest names
at the time. Yeah, well, yeah, they would have been. Don Amici, the younger brother was quite big. Yeah,
Beaks would have been quite big as a side character, and then obviously, the old Scream Queen would have been a big name as well. So
No, she wouldn't have really, because
That was only
Halloween was the only one, and that didn't really blow up.
She had a few things before that.
It took a second release in the cinema for Halloween.
I think she was still kind of.
She might have come off the fog, didn't she? That one did.
She had the fog and stuff before this. Yeah. Like she did have a big name going.
Oh no, she had a name all right, but it wouldn't have been straight off Halloween.
No, I'm not saying Halloween, but I'm just saying that was one of the ones that was in her repertoire. But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves there. Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves there.
That's 2-2, and so now we go to Mortimer.
And then it's gonna be 3-2 here.
Well, we'll see who he picks. I know, but like you never know. Go for it.
No, because if.
No, well, Greg, you give yours because it's to you anyway. But
I had Ian McKellen.
Now, how much older is Ian McKellen to Patrick Stewart?
5 years, I think.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit more.
And that's why I put
I went with Patrick Stewart in Logan looking ridiculously old.
There is 1 year between Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen.
1 year,
really? Wow.
1 year, 1 year, and that's actually probably a couple of months. Like, actually, no, it's nearly a full year. May to July. Yeah, it's nearly a full year.
I see the reason I picked Patrick Stewart for Mortimer, which is this one, because I could see him, like saying, "Oh, fuck him, fuck that." Either one of them actually, they really are. They do work really well together. Okay, so like I said, I had picked Patrick Stewart for this one. Ted, changed my mind.
I had thought somewhere along the lines of you in slight, because I had two backups here. One was John Voight.
Oh yeah, okay.
Who I think could have been good. The other was Robert De Niro.
Right, okay.
He's retired.
De Niro's not retired.
He came out and said he was retired.
Well, he still has
coming back.
He still has films in the pipeline, so.
I know, as I said, I would have had Al Pacino as his sidekick in that one.
Yeah, but in the end, I settled on somebody else. Another Game of Thrones one, Charles Dance.
Oh,
who I could really see doing the whole bit
of.
Your brother's having a heart attack. Yo, fuck him! Look at all the money we're losing.
Yeah. No, that's like if he had had a crap pick, Greg, that could have possibly changed my mind. But Charles Dance, yeah, absolutely.
See what I mean? Charles Dance and Elliot Gould, you could believe they were brothers, but there's nothing tying them together other than this film, which is kind of the way that they were cast when they originally did this.
All right, so 3-2 to the champ, and we're gonna move up now to the main event. For me, it's the main course. Ophelia, woohoo!
What a horrible name.
I know, but hey,
really was a shit name. It's to me first. I did have a couple of names here, but as I said, I feel this was kind of Ophelia was one of the bigger, or Jamie Lee Curtis was one of the bigger names in this going into it. So I wanted to take someone with kind of a bigger name. And I had originally put this pick down with Sherlock as the judge, so it might really come back to bite me in the arse here, because I know King's not a fan of her. But I had Kristen Stewart. I think she could do this. She looks after herself. She's very self-assured, very confident. And when anyone tries to take advantage of her in any way, she's just like, nope, that's not happening. This is the way we're fucking doing it.
Did you see her playing a hooker though?
Yeah, I think Kristen Stewart would be confident enough to play a character like that in herself.
Just glad you didn't say Kirsten Dunst.
No, not Kirsten Dunst.
Greg?
I had a couple of names. Anna Darmus was too young. Margot Robbie, far too big.
Wouldn't do it.
Love to see her in it like this, though.
Absolutely wouldn't do it. That was a big one. Yeah, that was absolutely a no-go.
That was the first thing in my head was like, that's who would get it, but she won't take a role that she does that in, so no.
Yeah, she swore she wouldn't do that after Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
She said that was her done with it, yeah.
Yeah.
So who did you go with?
I went with Emma Stone.
Okay. As a backup, I had Margot Robbie because I just want to see her in that particular film. But
Carl has about 15 different shows booked for the Barbie movie, just to say.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go see the Barbie movie, and they fucking better play the Barbie song in it as well.
It's the opening. Apparently, it's the opening thing.
Fucking better be.
Brilliant.
We played that at Greg Stag, me and Ray, straight over to the jukebox. We're in this pub, this like old man pub with loads of people in it. Me and Ray straight over. I'm a Barbie girl. Lashed it on. There we go.
It wasn't just the one either.
No, it was every second song was I'm a Barbie girl. Yeah, it was great.
He is a Barbie girl, but
was that night?
Yeah.
Excuse me. I actually ended up settling on Emma Stone myself.
Yeah, I can't say anything against Emma Stone. I think I like Greg. I had quite a few people there. Anna de Armas was actually one, but again, a bit too young and didn't have the name value.
I'm not sure with her building the name now. Not that there's anything wrong with getting your Babylons out in a movie. I don't think she's going to do it this young in her career.
She's already done it.
Has she?
Yeah, pretty sure she's already done it in certain films. But I had like Lucy Hale, Kea Scaladaro as well. But Carl.
That was another one. That was another one I looked at.
Yeah, neither of the Carls really know Kea all that well, so I was like, that'd be one if Greg was judging.
I mean, let's be fair, Carl was atrocious.
Yeah, but she has lots of stuff under her belt. Like
she in Resident Evil as well, wasn't she?
She was in Maze Runner. She was in Skins back in the day. Like when she was really young, she was in Skins. But settled on Kirsten Stewart because I just figured like she'd take a role like that, and she can. Like she has that demeanor about her, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
she has that Moby feel sorry for me look, didn't she?
Yeah,
but didn't Jamie didn't in it?
She does have a bit of it as well.
Oh, yeah, she's a bit whingy at parts, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, she's always like very confident in herself. Like when someone's like, "This is the way it's going to be," she's like, "No, this is how it's going to be."
Yeah.
So, no, I knew I was taking a risk with that one with you as Judge King because I know you're not a big fan of her, but I think she would have done it well.
Okay, I just couldn't believe her as the kind of hooker, But that's again just everyone's different preference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still it wasn't a bad shout though. But as I said, I had Emma Stone there, so
yeah, no, it's fair.
So 3-3 Are we gonna get
I just need one.
Champions
unless it's a draw.
Yeah,
I need one solo point.
No, but that's what I mean. I just need one. One win will settle me. But
right. Well, look, will we go with Billy Ray or will we go with Louis?
I think who's the real hero? Billy Ray.
I think you have to leave Louis to the end, really.
Yeah.
I think Billy Ray's the real hero.
No. I think Louis is.
Billy Ray could have kept the position he had. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, as the host, I'm going to say we'll go with Billy Ray. Okay. Now, I don't know about before you do. I don't know about you boys, but see this kind of cast, and to me, there's not an awful lot of actors to pick from into today to kind of to recast an Eddie Murphy type.
Eddie Murphy was a very particular type of actor.
Yeah. So to me, I again, and maybe it's still me learning. I don't know, but I can't keep using that as an excuse. I know.
No, he's a tough one to recast. There's certain people that are just very difficult to recast because like you see
Chris Tucker was a tough one.
Chris Tucker.
Oh yeah.
Like Robin Williams when he's funny. Robin Williams is like almost impossible.
Him impossible when we done Hook in the second or third episode.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Like
shocking to do.
I'd well believe it.
There's just certain actors like that, and unfortunately, this is one of them.
Yeah. So, if you
Greg first on this
one. Greg, yeah.
I only had one name, and I didn't want to put Kevin Hart because he's not the right type of character for it.
No.
So I went with Donald Glover.
Right.
Okay. So I looked at this. This is his very first acting role. Yeah, he was a comedian, stand-up. He was a stand-up comedian, so he had a bit of a name, but like nothing big. So I stuck to kind of that. I had Caleb McLaughlin as a backup, but didn't. Not that he's too young. I actually don't think he's too young because Thing was only 22 when he did this role, so he's actually not. He looks about 40. He just never aged, but like he was 22 when he did this and just looked 22. So I went with someone that probably had has a bit a bigger name than he did at this time, because he'll have had a few comedy shows under his belt already. But I went with Tyler James Williams, who
man from Everybody Hates Chris.
Everybody Hates Chris. He's a little bit older, so he's 30, I think, now. But he is comedy, and he's not that big a name, which is true of what Eddie was at this point in his career, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this out there. I don't like either of those picks.
Again,
yeah, and I think
as King said, he was a very tough one to recast because Eddie Murphy is Eddie Murphy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he plays a bit more of this is one of his more serious comedy roles
in the second half, more so. Yeah.
That's where I went Glover over thing. Like, you can get the comedic timing to an extent, but playing the serious role, I just seen your man Tyler James Williams. I was watching one of those NCIS shows, and he's in that. He's a fucking terrible actor.
Yeah.
I don't think he was good. Like, he's okay.
I will give it to him. He was good in Everybody Hates Chris because it was wrote around him. But watching him in a show when he's playing like a serious show is fucking atrocious.
Yeah, but again, he's not the main character. I know we're saying Winthorpe and Billy Ray are both kind of the main characters here, but this would have been written around him as well. You know what I mean? So,
it was written in a way for both of them.
Yeah. So again, it was a tough one. You know,
it was. Yeah. So I had a Kevin Hart as a backup. Obviously, as I said, I'm not overly familiar with
way too big a name.
Yeah,
as well. Like,
but I went Donald Glover.
It's not the right type of comedy.
No, but look, as I said, I've put my list into the group chat just so you guys can confer that I have what I have. I put in Donald Glover in there.
Yeah, so, I think Donald Glover is just too big a name.
It's a lazy answer for me, and I'm not saying anything about Greg.
It was 100% the lazy answer for me. The easiest answer was Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
I knew he wasn't the right type of comedy.
Too old as well. Kevin Hart.
That too, but he's not the right type of comedy.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
I think Donald Glover is probably a bit too old. Donald Glover's 40.
He doesn't look it though.
No.
Take the beard away, he doesn't look it.
And you know something, I look at that. I know the other guy from Everyone Hates Chris, and I like him in that, but like, he's a kid in that one. And I haven't seen enough of him in anything else to be able to change my mind, if you get me.
Yeah, I don't know.
You've used him a couple of times. What have you been watching with him in it?
I've never used Tyler James Williams before. I've used Caleb McLaughlin loads. I've never used Tyler James Williams.
Sherlock must have used him then.
I think Sherlock did. I've never used him.
I know he's been used.
Yeah. There we go. We're 4-3.
Yeah, I think Thing is too big a name for that, to be honest. But that's where
you
went. Yeah,
he's in the history books now.
Way too big a name.
So there's times on this show where we all don't agree, and it's just, again, it's the way it goes, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. But he's too big a name. But like, as we said, they're just too difficult to recast Eddie Murphy.
Very, very difficult. Anyway,
I would go along the lines of impossible.
Pretty much, yeah.
For a lot of roles, yeah, he is.
I was actually kind of hoping the two years would pick Donald Glover, or just because to me it was just like, yeah, just that's the one, like,
No, see, so that's the one I put work into by being like, I need somebody who hasn't got an established name, and I know Tyler James Williams has a bit of an established name, but I was like, I need someone who's not a mainstream name, because he is not the selling point of this film. Like, Eddie Murphy's name was not on the billboards or anything for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so it's 4-3 to Greg. You're gonna need to pull this one out of the hat. No, I can guarantee you, neither of you will have the same one as me. So, and I just think, when I look at it again, I actually didn't do any proper background on this. But anyway, we'll go with Lewis Winthorpe. So we'll see who you boys have. Let's go. Wow me.
Yeah, this one was tough again as well, because Dan Aykroyd had actually had quite a bit of acting underneath him. He just wasn't the megastar that he went on to become. So I was kind of going back and forth on this. You need him to be relatively young, because it's meant to be, and I understand that the Duke brothers are both in their 70s and they're like young Winthorpe, but if he's young Winthorpe, he can't be a guy in his 50s. He's meant to be this up and comer, getting married
You're
to
talking
their
early 30s or so.
Yeah, so I mean, like he was Dan Aykroyd was 31 going into this. You know what I mean? So like you're kind of talking in those early ages because if he's any older, he's not a young up and comer, and he's not marrying their. Is it their niece or their granddaughter? No, it must
granddaughter, isn't it?
So yeah, that's what I thought granddaughter, but it's like it can't be both their granddaughter.
I think it's their niece. I think.
Yeah, so I think it has to be their niece because it can't be both their granddaughter. But niece even seems a bit questionable.
There might be some questionable life decisions.
Well, they're a questionable set. So I had two people here, and I wasn't happy with either of them. So that's why they're both backups. Evan Peters and Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield maybe just a little bit too old for the role, I felt, and Evan Peters, I just don't know that he fits into it.
He's too. Yeah, he would be too stern, I think, as an actor.
So I went. I think I spelled his name wrong on the thing, but it's Josh Hutcherson. I think I wrote down John when I was writing it down, but it's Josh Hutcherson is who I went with. He did like Hunger Games and stuff like that, but
Josh Hutcherson.
Josh Hutcherson. Yeah, he has a couple of comedies under him, like Journey 2 with The Rock, Journey to the Center of the Earth and stuff like that. He has a couple of kind of funny like a couple of comedies under his name, Easy A and things like that. But he has a relatively big name as well.
Okay.
And I think he looks the kind of the preppy, really self-assured, confident, but you can also see how he could turn into a complete fucking psychopath.
He's in the Hunger Games as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Hunger Games is probably the thing he's best known for. But in that, you can see him again go from being the lovable, like, I really like everyone and I'm a really good person. And then the second things go wrong for me, I'm a bit of a fucking mentler, like.
Yeah. Okay. Ted?
Yeah?
Sorry, Greg. Here we go. Sorry.
Right. I had a couple. Garfield was one. Was the easy one, I thought.
Too old, I felt.
Didn't really like. No, he still can get away with being young enough. Do you know what I mean? There's like Dan Aykroyd doesn't look 31 in this.
I know, yeah, but
same way Quint didn't look 54 in Jaws.
He looked about 80.
Yeah.
I went with John Krasinski here. Obviously, he was Jim from The Office. And what's now going to be Reed Richards in.
I think he's backed out of that.
I heard something like that, yeah.
But he back out? I haven't seen that since.
Yeah.
But I think Fantastic Four just backed out rather than him backing out. I think Fantastic Four have just kind of scrapped themselves a bit. But
he was Jim from The Office. He was obviously in The Quiet Place and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's your pick, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I just had one name. And it's so funny because Greg scribbled it out of his list. I had Adam Devine from Modern Family.
Haven't seen
Modern
Family.
That's not who I'd wear.
Oh, isn't it? From. All right. So, well, look, I would
I
go
know him from Modern Family, but
that's
it's
not
the other show, the comedy show. It's an office-based one where they're stoners. The three of them are all in it. Him and his two best mates. Unfireables or something.
Right. Well, look. Excuse me. I don't know your pick, Ted, too well, I'm afraid. Krasinski is a good show. But again, the what? Iconics.
Workaholics was the TV show.
Right.
Can't say that either.
To be honest with you, like, and again, that was another hard one to pick. So I'm gonna go with Krasinski because I've seen more of him.
I think Krasinski again is. I know he doesn't look that old, but he is 43. Like, he is a bit too old. I feel.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying, but I'm not gonna go with someone who I'm not fully sure of.
Yeah.
So,
champ
again, as I said to Greg before we came on, I said I didn't change anything bar Beaks.
Yeah.
I kept everything as I would have for Sherlock.
Yeah. See, what you're getting with me as a judge, you're getting Meeting's Edge,
No, well, what I'm getting with you is the reason that Greg has so many fucking wins is because you and Greg just pick the exact same people for everything. I need to go back and do a stat on it. at some point.
Yeah, do.
I don't think anybody, and you've been on less shows than like most of us, King, because you came in a bit later. I don't think anybody has as many matches as you two boys do on things, whether they win or not. I don't think anybody matches as much as you two do in your thoughts, even on the shows where you just aren't on together, where he's just sending your picks. You two match more than anybody else, I think.
It makes an interesting dynamic. Yeah,
it's how Greg got his really long title reign. It's no surprise. It's no surprise that Greg's really long title reign came the second.
Got an ass whooping
as soon as I came in.
Is the second that Sherlock stepped away and that you came in at the 2 years just thinking along the same lines.
You got an ass whooped for 5-6 weeks.
Well, yeah, look, because you two think the exact same.
Well, look, Ted, unfortunately, your reign has come to an end.
It has, yeah.
And you get the privilege of picking the next film. What are we going to go with? What am we taking on the champ with?
I'll go with one that I think you'll both be fans of. We'll stick in the 80s. We'll go 80s action.
Right.
But not...
Can't be Predator.
Not one of the big action heroes that people think of when they think of the 80s. So you're not getting your Arnie. You're not getting.
Is it Big Trouble in Little China?
It is not.
Carl, if it is, you're fucked.
It is not Big Trouble Little China. Although you are thinking along the right lines.
So it's either Carpenter or Russell.
It is Russell.
Or both.
Oh.
It is Russell. It is Carpenter.
Oh, I know what it is.
Go on, spread it out for us.
It is one good film, followed by one of the
I know exactly what it is.
Shittest second films. But we're not doing the second one. We're just doing the first one. We're going Escape from New York.
Ooh.
How do you recast Chef? Let alone recasting Snake. How do you recast Chef?
How do you recast any of them?
There's only one way to find out, isn't there? And that's tune in next week and see how we get on.
Come in next week and see the two boys. I'll be judging. The two boys will be taking each other on in Escape from New York.
And we'll have the exact same picks.
Yeah, Greg will win because it'll be 7-all the whole way.
Well, look, congratulations to the champ. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he did win. But don't forget to like, share, follow, all that good stuff for ourselves and the boys over on the slab. And until next week, we'll look.